Actually, like you might find it interesting. My first project para sa Viva Max is parang sex education themed na show. And parang yung character ko, I'm playing myself and I'm playing a fictional podcast host. Tapos sex and relationships yung theme ng podcast. Tapos every podcast episode ni Fictional Salome. Meron siyang fictional na guest, tapos we will talk about different kinks, tsaka kung ano yung dilemmas nila sa relationship nila, nung character na yun. So, parang i-workshop namin throughout the episode. So, ganun yung naging theme ng first project ko sa Viva Max.
So, ano siya? Film siya? Or
miniseries.
Oh,
Na 4 episodes.
Okay.
Yan.
So, meron kang fictional Salome, tapos merong real Salome. Parang ganon na ginagawa mo. Oh, nice.
Pero dun lang naman yun sa project na yun. After that, I started playing different characters na din.
Ang galing.
Yeah.
Kailan ka nag-sign sa Viva Max?
Last year, February.
Congratulations! Congratulations! So, paano nagbago yung parang how you do your work when you sign Viva Max?
I think nagbago siya in a sense na nagbago siya na mas marami na akong ginagawa ngayon, so I'm finding it more difficult to find time to edit my own stuff, to work on my own stuff. Tsaka po nagagamit ko po yung platform ng Viva Max to publicize my work sa Pornhub kasi nag-focus na ako sa Pornhub ngayon and my different adult websites. Tapos, yung exposure na nakukuha ko sa Viva Max, thankfully, na-channel ko po siya sa...
Doon sa mga adult websites.
Doon sa adult
so,
websites
nandun ka
ko.
sa iba't ibang adult websites, you do your own content. Parang gano'n.
Apo.
Okay, tas doon mo ina-upload.
May sarili po akong channel sa Pornhub, and may page ako sa Fansly, sa Manyvids, different adult websites. I try to make it as diversified as possible. Kasi parang common problem yun ng mga online sex workers na minsan may nagkakaproblema sa isang platform, tapos if all of your eggs are in that basket, yari ka. So, I try to be present on different websites. Tapos yun, nag-expand na rin ako to more acting work. I'm working as a working actress now. So, with that din, nasusupplement ko din yung work
So,
ko.
nakakatulong naman.
Yeah, very much so.
So, when you
much
say
so.
online sex workers, wala kayong offline?
I think that a lot of online sex workers have that overlap that they also do full service sex work, which is sex for money. A lot of us do client-facing services pa din alongside the online content. It's kind of a known thing na ganun yung ginagawa sa industry namin. Pero ako personally, I don't take too many client-facing jobs. Ano lang talaga ako, performer lang talaga. Tsaka, strength ko ang social media eh. So doon ko na lang yung binubuhos yung creative energy ko doon sa online content ko.
Hindi ka ba natatakot when you talk publicly about like sex work? When it's, di ba, parang not allowed pa here in the country?
Ako personally kasi, I think na despite that, it's still an important subject to talk about, especially nung pandemic na a lot of women, a lot of people turned to sex work, a lot of people joined our industry. So it's becoming more of, I wouldn't say it's becoming more of a mainstream thing, pero mas maraming ng exposure at kaalaman ang meron tayo about sex work. And I feel like it's important for us to join the conversation as much as we can para kahit papaano hindi natitake away sa amin yung narrative. And nasi-speak namin yung truth namin, yung stories namin. So, yun yung main motivator ko. Tsaka honestly, yung law enforcement natin, it's not super great, it's not super competent. So, we're not under fire yet. Napapansin ko. Parang very few of other sex workers that I know, kahit illegal yung ginagawa namin, very few of us face legal ramifications. So, I think na baka hindi pa ready yung gobyerno natin to engage with that or to deliver punishment.
To enforce
Yeah,
that
to enforce,
law.
yeah.
Pero hindi ka ba nagkakaroon ng kaaway in that industry that you're putting out there and thus taking it more risk? Na baka,
That's
yun na
true.
nga, parang may enforcement na hahanapin kayo, di ba? Kasi kapag maingay ka, syempre, maririnig na nila. And then sasabihin nila, okay, kailangan natin may gawin dito. So, meron bang nagkaroon ng ganong problema?
That's a really good point and something that I haven't considered personally. Now that you pointed out, oo nga no, parang dapat ano tayo, dapat we need to be safe in that department. Pero so far naman, thankfully, wala pa naman akong nakakaaway na nag-threaten sa akin na gano'n. Merong mga pabiro na tatag nila yung Dole, Pidea, gano'n. Parang ano lang, nangaasar lang.
You had an interview just recently that went viral. And there are a lot of comments about it, right?
Yeah.
And there are people who admire you for your honesty and for your courage.
Yeah.
And there were also people who said na bakit mo ginagawa yan? Ano pa yung mga narinig mong bash tungkol sa'yo?
A lot of religious people came out in the aftermath of that interview saying na hindi moral yung ginagawa ko, na mali yung ginagawa ko, na somehow iniengganyo ko daw yung mga tao to enter the sex industry or to participate in the sex industry, which I don't think I've ever done, honestly. Like, every time I talk about my work, I'm very particular about having disclaimers saying na this is my experience. I had a very positive experience within sex work, pero that's not the experience that all sex workers have. It's still a very dangerous industry to join, and it's it's rife with exploitation talaga. So I take offense to people who say na prino-promote ko yung ginagawa ko because I really don't want to. Kasi I alam ko rin na mali eh. Tsaka alam ko rin na by talking about my success in the industry, by talking about the joy that I get, parang nakakaengganyo rin talaga yon, and maraming matitempt, maraming masisilaw dun sa pera that they think that I have, but I don't really. So, parang, I try to be responsible about it by yun nga, putting disclaimers and being forthcoming about the dangers and the risks of joining the industry.
Ano ba yung mga dangers? As a sex worker, ano na yung mga na-experience mo na risks?
I think that the biggest drawback talaga about sex work is the stigmatization around it. And merong stigma na sex workers don't deserve as much respect as other people. It's not a job that deserves dignity, that deserves to be looked at with dignity and respect. So I feel like dahil sobrang daming tao nag-iisip nun, when I'm out and about in the world, people think na I have no boundaries kasi nakikita nila na I'm naked, I put myself out there, I promote my work, and I'm open about being sex worker. So there's this misconception na dahil nga kaakibat nung stigmatization na hindi kami deserving of respect, parang people treat me like I have no boundaries, na people are physical with me sometimes, sinakabayan ako, binebewangan, hinahalikan, nang hindi nagpapaalam, which I am very bothered by.
What do you do?
There are times na I freeze. I'm sure na you're familiar na sometimes when a traumatic event is happening to you, parang the only thing that you can think of doing is to freeze and wait for it to stop. Pero if I'm lucky enough na meron akong enough alertness at that moment, I try to tell them off or try to respectfully tell them, sir, wag po tayo mag-akbay, I don't like it. As much as possible, I try to enforce those boundaries myself. Pero meron talagang mga times na I cannot. Na yun nga, I freeze, I don't know what to do.
Kailan yung mga you cannot?
I think kapag overwhelmed na ako sa sitwasyon, kasi it happened quite recently lang na I was invited to be a guest at this club, and then maraming, sure, lasing na yung mga tao. Maraming, ano yung question ulit?
Kailan yung mga walang boundaries?
Ayun. So ayun, parang nung time na yun, nung particular event na to, people were being handsy with me, people were being overly close with me. Pero because it was at a club, and may ADHD ako, I get very easily overstimulated, lalo na kapag ang daming tao who want my attention, who are trying to get my attention. Na-overwhelm ako. So, o kaya kapag nasa sitwasyon ako where I feel like being rude or standing up for myself might not be good for my image, especially in a public setting. Hindi ko naman pwede pagalitan isa-isa yung mga tao na because that will make me look bad eh. Unfortunately na even though yun yung tamang gawin, I know that it'll make me look bad. Kakala na, ay, attitude yan si Salome. Kasi nangyari na yun before. Na,
Kailan nangyari yun?
nung pumunta ako sa concert, it was this metal concert, huge metal concert. And syempre, yung fan base talaga ng metal is mostly men. And I keep losing my train of thought.
Fan base ng metal, mostly men. Tapos, yun, nangyari na yun before. Na
Ayun, nangyari na yun before na people were coming to me in droves, gusto magpa-picture, gusto magpa-shoutout. And I was able to handle it for a short while. Na sige, I really like this attention, this is okay with me. Pero nung napapagod na ako, nauubos na yung social battery ko, I started turning people down. O kaya kung magpapapicture sila sa akin. Kasi earlier in the day, may mga na nag-aakbay, nambebewang. So parang for the rest of the night, I was like, if you're gonna take pictures with me, let's keep some distance, ha. It's wild that I had to enforce that. Kasi nga, I felt like my personal space was being violated. Tapos after ng event na yun, may mga nag-post na, ay, suplada yan si Salome. Pag fans yung nagpapapicture sa kanya, ayaw niya, gusto niya, lumalayo, o kaya tinatanggihan niya. Pero kapag banda yung nagpapapicture sa kanya, okay lang. Lumabas na ganun. So parang doon ko na-realize, this happened last year eh. Tama ba? Yeah, this happened nung 2023. Tapos, ayun, nung lumabas yun, it was pretty early in my career kasi nag-sign ako sa Viva Artist Agency noong February. So, a lot of things about being an actor and being a public figure, bago pa rin sa akin eh. And the exposure that VAA gave me, that Viva Max gave me, that Black Rider gave me, this is something that I've never experienced before. So, parang dun ko na-realize na, okay, if I'm gonna continue with this lifestyle, continue living this life as a public figure, kailangan sobra doble ingat ako with my image. And if I'm gonna have to enforce my boundaries, I have to be a little more lenient or kind about it. Kasi yun nga eh, there's always that risk na may mga taong makakakita at mamasamain nila yung actions.
May nasama ka na ba before? Like even before you signed or you became a public figure, nagkaroon na ba ng time na namasama ka?
In what way?
Meaning na judge ka in what you do, like when you started with this whole online sex work?
I think na a lot of the judgment that I get comes from online talaga. And ever since, even before I started doing the porn full-time, kahit nung alter pa lang ako sa Twitter, posting my nudes on Twitter, and, putting my work out there as a freelance nude model, ganyan. Parang meron ng judgment eh, na meron ng judgment that are disapproving of my career choice, of how immoral it is daw, and
may mga nakaaway ka ba during that time? Yung when you were starting?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not really happy about it, honestly. Kasi during my time on Twitter, when I used to really run my mouth off. And kapag bad trip ako sa isang tao, I'll really attack them, come after them. O kaya kapag may nangiinsulto sa akin, I'll look at their profile, try to think of something that's 3 times more painful than what they said to me. Like, I was very vindictive about it. And I'm really not happy about that time of my life, lalo na on Twitter, kasi alam kong ang dami kong nasaktan. Tsaka, parang, kunyari, somebody would say something about my work or say something about my body, and then I'll attack them. I'm gonna attack them and say that, oh, your family looks like pangit ang anak mo. Ganun ako dati. Talagang no holds barred. And I don't wanna be like that anymore. Kasi na-realize ko na I'm setting an example for others. Kahit ganun ako katarantado, meron nang tumitingala sa akin nun. And I have to be responsible for them. And yun nga, parang bilang isang public figure and as an online sex worker and who's very open about it, parang, parang, I'm not assigning na I'm the face of the industry or anything like that, pero I'm pretty well known as a sex worker, and I don't want to further any more stigmatization or any more bad stereotypes with my behavior. Kasi nga, I'm very public about my status as a sex worker. So yun, parang dun ko na-realize na meron akong responsibilidad na hindi ko ginagampanan na maayos. So, ayun, parang I tried to police myself and approach people with kindness and be more understanding. Parang iniintindi ko na lang na every time na meron ng babash sa akin online, I always try and remember na I was once that person. You know, I was once a hater. And yung masama pa doon nung time na yun, I used to be envious and used to be rude and mean to other sex workers kasi I felt like they were competition. And na-realize ko na mali din yun. So yun, parang marami akong natutunan from that phase in my life na tinatry ko nang baguhin ngayon. Yeah, especially now na yung level of exposure ko na nakukuha ko ngayon, parang compared to what I was doing on Twitter, parang mas ano na ako ngayon, mas exposed na ako ngayon. So the responsibility for me to do better is bigger.
Oo, totoo naman. So parang you want to change. Right? And to become a better person. There's just one thing that I saw while I was like reading like the notes on after your interview. Parang there was one thing that said, we don't want to give her a platform because there was something that happened before that labeled you as a sexual predator. Is there something that parang reminds you of something, or is it true, or what?
Okay. I would like to say na yes, it's true. And I did that.
What happened then, if you don't know?
I don't want to I don't want to elaborate too much na lang kasi syempre trauma ng ibang tao 'yan.
So anong nangyari noon?
I was drunk. I know na hindi yun excuse dun sa ginawa ko. And I wanna say din na upon a lot of introspection, hindi ko rin pwedeng sisihin yung alak kasi even though wala ako sa sarili nun, aminin ko, and I don't remember much of that time, to be honest. Meron pa rin something inside me that made that decision, and I have to take accountability for that decision that I made, which hurt my then best friend at the time. And yun, parang kasi prior to this event, I was already being intimate with this person kasi we were very close talaga, and our relationship was turning intimate, it was turning sexual, and we would make out, we would be intimate with each other, we would touch each other. So parang in this particular incident, I thought that doing that or continuing to do that was okay. Even though nagsabi na sa akin yung friend ko at the time na, hey, can we not get too close tonight kasi she's starting a relationship with another person, and you know, she didn't want to ruin her chances with this person. So she already set her boundaries early on. And mali ko yun na hindi ko yun nirespeto. And I did some stuff, I touched her in a way that made her feel unsafe. Even though bilang best friend niya, I was the person who she was supposed to feel the most safe with. And dun ako pinaka guilty na nagawa ko yun to someone who really trusted me. Kasi nakausap ko rin yung friends niya after that, and they told her how much she was suffering, how much she's hurting from the incident. Kasi mostly because she trusted me so much. And yun, parang siguro naka-add rin dun sa trauma niya yung fact na the first few times na she confronted me about it, I tried to deny what happened, o kaya she tried to bring it up online sa Twitter kasi she has her own platform sa Twitter. Every time she would bring it up before, siguro, this happened kasi end of 2017. And yun, parang the times na she would tweet about it, there were times na I would deny it. And I'm sure na nakadagdag yun dun sa gigil niya, dun sa trauma niya. And I really would like to acknowledge that I did that. Parang, parang, ayoko man sana to draw attention to my guilt kasi hindi naman yun yung point. Ang point is there was somebody that I hurt and they're still hurting. And the way that they're trying to deal with their hurt is they wanna talk about it, they wanna say something about this person that people have. People have this image of me and she thinks that isn't accurate and she wants to shed light about what I did and what happened about that part of myself. And parang ina-acknowledge ko din yun. Ina-acknowledge ko na part yun ng healing niya. Kasi kahit ako kasi ako I'm in that unique position where I've been both a victim and a perpetrator of sexual harassment. So, parang thinking about all of the times that I have been sexually harassed, hanggang ngayon hindi ko pa rin naman napapatawad yung gumawa nun sa akin. So naiintindihan ko kung bakit hanggang ngayon galit pa rin sa akin yung na-victimize ko na person na yun.
Humingi ka ba ng tawad?
I think not in a way that she deserves yet. We've had confrontations in the past over chat, and parang she felt that I haven't properly apologized yet. And even after all of those years na nakalipas, parang hindi pa ako nag-reach out sa kanya directly to apologize properly and say na ito yung nagawa ko, I'm sorry.
Because?
Bakit nga ba? Siguro there's a part of me na takot pa rin.
Saan?
Takot ako na I've built myself so much as an advocate for women's rights, ganyan, and mali kasi pakinggan na siguro part of my fear was I didn't want to tarnish my image that I work so hard to build up. Pero
isn't that what's going on now?
Yun nga pero na-realize ko din naman na parang if I'm so brave about telling the truth about the other parts of my life, I should be brave rin about talking about the wrong things that I did.
I think you should be.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yun, parang gusto ko lang i-acknowledge na yung pagkakamali ko na nagawa ko na yun, and I wanna say sorry to her. I wish na hindi na kailangan umabot to this point na I have to talk about it publicly. Like, I wish I was able to just properly apologize to her at a timely manner. So much so na hindi na umabot sa point na hanggang ngayon hinahunt pa rin ako nito. But yeah.
Well, maybe this will make you realize what you need to do. For the both of you.
Yeah. Ano naman I have to say though that I've apologized na rin naman before. Kasi this was around the time that I got canceled on Twitter for other things. And, a lot of those, and that incident got brought up then. So
hinahabol ka niya, no? Hinahabol ka nung incident na yun.
Yeah. And parang nakapag-apologize na rin naman ako publicly. Pero I don't want to keep pointing to that na parang, hindi, nakapag-apologize na ako dati, okay na to dapat I know that forgiveness doesn't work like that and hindi ko naman nire-require na patawarin niya ako or anything like that. I think na yung dapat ko lang talaga gawin is to stand up and acknowledge it. And parang gusto ko lang din sabihin na parang after that incident, I really took a hard look about what I was doing and how I carried myself around my friends. And I really tried to not be in that position anymore. I really tried to grow, to not be that person anymore who would harm the people that were close around me. Kasi ang dami ko rin na-realize over time na as to why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Na na-realize ko na there was a power imbalance in that friendship, and I was older kasi, and this person really was looking up to me. And I felt like, because I felt that I had the power and the clout in that particular friendship, siguro I felt that I could do anything that I wanted to her without thinking of how it would affect her. Kasi ang dami ring, even before that, ang dami ring incidents na I blow up at her, na naglalabas ako ng sungay sa kanya, and she
So you really mean?
Yeah. I was mean to the people on Twitter. I was mean to her. Siguro kailangan ko na rin aminin sa sarili ko na part din kung bakit hirap na hirap ako to talk about it is because I know na when people look at me that way, when people zero in on that thing that I did, baka hindi na sila makinig when I talk about my own sexual assault. Baka natatakot ako na baka they will say na hindi ako worthy pakinggan bilang biktima because of something that I did. And alam kong mali na iniisip ko yun, pero that's part of the reasons why din hirap na hirap ako to talk about it. I really try to not be that person anymore.
And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, kasi I stopped drinking because of that incident. Kasi natatakot ako na baka ano pa yung lumabas kapag pinagpatuloy ko yung pag-iinom ko. So I stopped that, and iniingatan ko na talaga the way that I approach people, especially people who I am sexually attracted to, kasi takot na ako to cross that boundary, especially now na na-experience ko firsthand what it's like to have your personal space violated by the people that are close to you. Ngayon na na-realize ko na yun. Siguro mali ko rin na it took me this long and it took me having to be like this. And in order for me to realize how much pain I actually dealt to that person. And it's so unfortunate that I had to go through all of that bago ko ma-realize yun.
But that's also your process.
Yeah. Ayoko rin naman na i-discredit yung sarili ko na sa progress na nagawa ko within myself. I really tried to continue working on my mental health, and na-realize ko din na being part of a narcissistic household, feel ko meron ring parts nung narcissism nila na na-absorb ko and that I'm doing to other people. Mm-hmm. And I think naging part din yun kung bakit ko nagawa ko. But yeah.
And I think you've already put in the work to understand. You're constantly putting in the work to understand yourself.
Yeah.
And make you acknowledge the wrong things that happened.
Yeah.
Before. And what's important now is that you acknowledge it and you're trying to change from it.
Yeah.
Not do it again.
Yeah.
Treat people differently, especially those around you.
Yeah, especially the people na dapat inaalagaan ko. Kasi that, meaning ko, like, as embarrassing it must be to admit, na after that, hindi lang siya yung kaibigan ko na nawala over stuff that I did, over abusive things that I did. Nalagas yung mga kaibigan ko over stuff that I did, and parang it's such a rude wake-up call to me na there's stuff about me that I need to change. And I think na part of my healing din is that ngayon na alam ko na I really did my best to change. Ang talagang kulang na lang is a proper formal apology that she's probably waiting for. I don't know if she is or whatever, I don't know if she cares or whatever, pero alam kong importante na ma-deliver ko yun at hindi ko yun nagawa. And it's just...
Pwede mo pa naman gawin. Diba?
Yeah. It's,
no one's stopping you, it's just yourself.
Yeah, I know. I want to highlight all of the changes that I've done to myself, but at the same time, ayoko i-diminish yung damage na nagawa ko. Gusto ko talaga na i-center natin to dun sa nangyari at dun sa naging repercussions para sa kanya, which have been terrible. It must have been terrible na biktima ka ng isang taong to, tapos you see them everywhere. And nag-experience ko na yun eh. Na I was sexually assaulted by somebody who is famous that I see everywhere, and it's a terrible experience. And it kills me that I am the cause of somebody to experience that.
What do you want to tell people?
I want to tell people na mali yung ginawa ko. Mali yung nagawa sa akin. Kasi naging biktima rin naman ako eh. I want people to know na they gotta check themselves. You know, like, when we think of sexual harassers, when we think of rapists, we have this image in our head of this, like, guy creeping in the shadows, just waiting for an opening, and then they'll jump. Hindi. Usually, like, nahaharas tayo ng mga taong malalapit talaga sa atin. And parang I want people to realize through this experience of mine na we are all capable of violating other people's personal space. We just have to like check ourselves. And we just have to be extra careful with how we with how we show our attraction to the people we are sexually attracted to. Kasi sometimes I know that sexual attraction is such a strong emotion to feel. And siguro with the way that I present myself now and the way that I tell my stories about being sexually harassed and everything, and including this story of being on the other side of the fence, I just want people to know to be careful.
Yeah. I think it's not just being careful, it's also respecting other people.
Yeah, and being
yung bottom line.
Yeah, and being siguro empathetic na they have their personal space, they have their own dignity that they're taking care of. Like, wag na nating babuyin yun. Kasi people, even myself I'm in a position where lagi ako nababastos para sa trabaho ko. And
even online, di ba? Madaming nambabastos online that sometimes it goes overboard.
Yeah, and I don't like na nanonormalize yung ganong behavior, especially towards people who are very sexual, who are very sexy, who package themselves a certain way, or people who siguro are aware of the objectification they experience and they want to capitalize on that. Parang a lot of people kasi think that those kind of people are not worthy of respect.
Yeah.
So, I think parang with what I did, parang mali ko rin na naging part ako ng normalization na yun.
Pero yun nga, ang importante ay alam mo na naging mali ka at binabago mo yun. Diba?
Yeah.
At part of your healing, part of you becoming a better person is advocating for respect for everyone. Diba? Not just sex workers, also everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. That even the people na malapit sa'yo, they're worthy of respect. Hindi pwedeng bastusan palagi. Even the people that you see online, worthy of respect.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they're naked, diba? Doesn't matter if they're dancing. Doesn't matter if they talk about sex or they say that they're a sex worker, that's what they do. Everyone's worthy of respect. And
for sure,
I think the good thing that you're saying is that you're learning, diba? To treat people with respect. And you are bringing it in your job and in what you do.
Yeah,
okay?
And I think na parang I think na these kinds of things happen when we don't have enough empathy for the other person.
Sige.
Na siguro parang pagkakamali ko na lang din na I think this is a common thing that happens in really close friendships na nagiging kampante tayo. And because we feel really safe with this person, we think that we can do anything without judgment. Pero even, siguro dapat pa nga, better pa nga yan for our closest friends na dapat talagang chine-check natin yung sarili natin at yung boundaries natin.
Thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for being honest.
Thank you.
And like what I said, your strength is your strength. Be very brave that you acknowledge and admitted that, and I hope that you find closure in it. Both of you in it.
I think, more than that, I think na, alam ko na wala naman akong power to dictate how she is going to heal.
So, sana ikaw. Yeah.
Naalala ko yung, I really like try to center myself dun sa sinabi mo sa akin na tama na yung pagbubugbog mo sa sarili mo over something na you're trying to fix. There's no point. So, I'm really trying to center myself on that and focus on what I can do.
And what you're doing right now. And I want to talk about that in this whole industry of sex work. Let's make it more fun and light. Ask you questions, and just top of mind, very quickly answer them. We're gonna play the Unproved Convo cards, and the first question here is, what's the strangest place you've had sex?
Strangest? Huh. Ito, like that, let me think. Because ako kasi, personally, marami kasing nag-ask sa akin, where are you gonna, when are you gonna do content in a public place, like, you know, in fear of getting caught. Ako personally, I don't have that kink. I want to be able to focus on the sex, and I want to be able to, like, do it for a long time without interruption. So, hindi naging part ng kink ko yung wanting to do it in
public.
Wanting to do it in strange places. Siguro, I lost my virginity sa bakanteng lote sa tapat ng Fine Arts. Alam niyo na!
yung lumang FA.
No, the new one.
Yung bago.
The new one where
malapit
it is.
Malapit sa MBB. Yung may parking doon eh.
So, parang when we did that, nakipag-sex ako sa damuhan and everything.
Hindi mo Makati?
We were drunk. Like, I was in...
lang sa sunken.
Oo nga eh. Like, we were drunk and we were, college pa ako at the time eh. And siguro na-experience ko yun and I didn't feel na... Ako kasi the way that I lost my virginity isn't very special to me or isn't very pleasant to me. And including that particular part of it. Yung experience ko with that person, yung first sexual experience ko na yun nga, I don't consider it to be very pleasant. And so much so na after I had sex with him, parang 2 years after that, I was like, I didn't have sex because
hindi masaya yung nangyari.
Kasi hindi masaya yung nangyari. Sabi ko, kung ito lang din yung sex, kung ito na yun, parang ayoko na lang makipag-sex. Kasi kung if I'm gonna be treated like this, ako sa bakanteng lote, parang hindi naman masaya yun. So I was averse to sex after that experience. I wanna point that out lang kasi that guy is going around right now telling everybody na he's taking
credit.
Yeah, taking credit, taking responsibility.
That he popped your cherry.
Oo, na parang, ako yung naging cause ng sexual awakening niya, kaya siya ganito ngayon. Gumagano siya sa mga tropa namin. And I'm like, dahil sa'yo, I didn't want to have sex for 2 years. What the are you talking about? I don't know, parang after that, I was like, parang ayoko na makipag-sex sa mga kakaibang lugar. I've done that na, hindi siya masaya, and I associate it with this person who I don't like very much. So, hindi, yung sex in strange places. Parang hindi
not your thing.
Yeah, it's not my thing, not my thing.
So, now, this is the question. I would describe my current sex life as?
Awesome.
Awesome!
Yeah, because I think now, because of my work, And I know na meron akong quality, meron akong standard na palaging hinahabol with my work, and a lot of my emphasis is placed on genuine reactions, on genuine connection. Kasi ano yan eh, nafe-feel yan ng mga manonood when they watch porn eh. They can tell if the people on screen are really connecting with each other, if they're having fun. So,
biglang napaganon si Kuya nung sinabi mo, when they watch porn. Nagising.
So, ayun.
Totoo ba yun, Kuya, pag nanonood kayo, kailangan, nararamdaman nyo kung totoo ba yung connection o wala lang? Oo. So, kailangan yun.
So, I have to screen people very carefully about who I will work with. And because of the standard that I have to, that I placed on myself, that I have to meet, parang it cost me to really filter out people who have access to my body. So
paano yun? May talent, ano ka ba? Talent scouting? May casting couch ka? Ganyan?
Wala, hindi naman formal na casting couch. It's very relaxed, very informal lang na if you're interested in working with me, like let's have sex and go on dates muna off camera, like let's get to know each other. So, because of that screening process that I have now, kasi kailangan ko rin malaman if camera ready yung performance nila in bed eh. So, I have to screen that kind. And because of that screening process, parang I only get to have sex and meet people who I really trust and who I really have a genuine connection with. So, because of my being discerning, more discerning now than I've ever been before. Kasi before, talagang, like, oh, if you're cute and if you're down to I'm a you know, like, ganun ako before. Pero ngayon nga, napipilitan ako maging discerning. And because of that, parang mas naging enjoyable yung sex life ko. Kasi
mas naging awesome.
Yeah. Kasi parang I respect myself enough na to not engage with people who don't give me the energy and the attention and the affection that I know I deserve.
Yeah, I mean, that's really how it should be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
it's your
for
body,
sure.
you have to protect your body.
Yeah.
Next, if you could have sex as any animal, what would it be? One animal.
Masaya na ang sex as a human person. Kasi like when I off the top of my head when I think about may mga hayop na may barbs yung penis nila para make sure na mag-ejaculate sila inside. Merong mga hayop na ganun yung experience nila with sex. 'Di ba sa mga aso, they have to stay in that position for a really long time to make sure that their partner gets impregnated. And apparently, it's a really painful experience for dogs na kapag pinaghiwalay nyo sila ng Oo. So, parang like
ayaw mo na gano'n.
Ayoko na lang gano'n. Parang finding out about other animals like that and then looking at my own experience bilang isang tao, and I have, I have so much good sex. I have genuine orgasms and I really enjoy my job because I get to explore my sexuality. I'm like, okay na ako dito.
Very good. You're content. And lastly, because you have, like you said, you have a lot of experience, what is something on your sexual bucket list?
Na hindi ko pa nagagawa.
Yeah, bucket list.
Oh my God, I've been in a bunch of threesomes and a bunch of opportunities where I had group sex. And personally, hindi ko gusto yung setting na yun, I realized. Pero, I realized na I don't like group sex kasi I can feel na the focus is not on me all the time.
Gusto mo ikaw?
Yeah, gusto ko maging center of attention. Kaya hindi rin ako masyadong nakikipag-engage in group sex because I know na may magiging dynamic na ganun, which I'm not really a fan of. Pero, kung magkaroon man ng opportunity na I have sex with different men, with a bunch of different men, siguro 2 at a time, tapos lahat sila game, lahat kami okay with each other. Kung mangyari man yung opportunity na yun, that would be amazing na if I had group sex, tapos lahat sila lalaki.
Lahat lalaki.
Tapos ako lang yung girl.
Ilan lalaki?
Start tayo sa 2. Kasi hindi ko pa na-experience.
Si Kuya May.
Kasi kahit yun, hindi ko pa na-experience eh.
Na 2 lalaki. Puro female, male, female.
Oo, ganun. Okay. Parang, and ano naman, parang I've enjoyed those experiences din naman.
So, ano yung setting? Ano yung setting? We're talking about your fantasy na and your bucket list.
Ako personally, like, ako exhibitionist talaga ako. Like, through and through. Like, that's my biggest kink. So, I really enjoy the process of filming and being in front of the camera. So, if we could do that, like if I can have sex with 2 men at once and then we're filming and then knowing that I'll be able to publish that content and people are gonna enjoy it and see it, I think that would be the best na ano, na parang, nag-enjoy na nga ako, nakagawa pa ako ng content. Diba?
Naway ma-manifest mo yan.
malapit na meron akong dalawang kausap. Paano ba yan?
So there you go. Thank you so much, Salome. Thank you for being so open and trusting and brave as always. And I admire you for your strength.
Thank you.
I hope that you get to, become a better person as you grow and also with your career and your advocacy. Thank you. And that's it for tonight's episode of Private Convos with Doc Rica. Catch Private Convos here on One News Digital. You can also check out the long conversation on YouTube, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, and everywhere else. I am Dr. Rica Cruz. We are One News, all sides, all the time.